Welcome to another edition of Hidden Gems on Boomduck Channel. This is Dark Necessities here. Larry's not here. Boom is not here. So, today we're going to be looking at a game called Among the Sleep. We're going to be looking at the Enhanced Edition, which was released the beginning of November of 2017. Now, Among the Sleep it's basically an updated version of the horror game. It's a bit of horror, a bit of adventure. Basically, you play as a 2-year-old, and you're trapped in some kind of weird nightmare where you have to find your mom. You go through different levels and you get different memories. And it's brilliant, you know, it takes you back as a child. The horror elements I was saying before, they don't really kick in until about halfway through the game. And then you do get some nasty ghouls that come and chase you. And to be fair, the way that they do it, considering you are playing as a kid, they've done it very tastefully where it's not, you know, blood and gore that gets you. The death animation, I guess you'd say, is very tastefully done. You know, the surroundings just go dark and vibrate, and before you know it, it's game over. The mechanics of the game, you can either walk or you can crawl. Crawling is a bit faster, but there is a drawback with it that you can't hold anything. And I must say, it does come with a secondary character. I guess you say secondary character. You are aided, I should say, in the game by a teddy bear. And this teddy bear acts as a bit of a story narrator as you go through the missions, but as you're actually playing the game, his use is he acts like a nightlight, a torch. Basically, you can hold him and you can see things. Of course, you can't do that if you're crawling. So that's where I guess the question of do I crawl, do I walk comes in. It says in Steam it's a horror adventure, whereas I would probably call it a horror puzzle. And it's quite hard to draw out a video of this kind of game without giving you too much information, without giving you too many spoilers. But like one example is you have to find a way to unlock doors. You have to find ways to get out of places. And through the missions, you have to effectively, and this will be quite good for anyone who's actually played the game, you have to piece the puzzle together. It's not always straightforward, but in saying that, it's never too complicated. I think it is a game where you can get it if puzzle games aren't your thing. I'm sure you will find enjoyment out of this game. If you don't like horror games, that's fine. I'm sure you'll find enjoyment with this. It's kind of a mixed horror puzzle adventure, but the animation style, the movement is quite charming. It is quite a unique experience. I feel crawling around. When you do walk, I'll go back to the walk just for a sec. If you walk too much, you end up falling over, which is quite funny. Obviously, because you're a 2-year-old, you're still learning how to walk. Yeah, so Among the Sleep, I'll just get you the price for it. Full price in Australia at the time of recording is about $23.95. It is good. It's a good game, and it's well worth a playthrough. I do think this is probably one you'd want to get on a sale, if you can pick it up on a sale or through. If you get it on a sale, it'll definitely worth it. Hence why we're covering it off in Hidden Gems. Playtime, I think I finished it off in about 3.5 hours. You bear in mind I'm not 100% completist. There are things which I did not do. Yes, I played the story from the start to the end, but you know there are Steam achievements which you can do if you are chasing that 100% achievement record. You could probably get, I'd say, 5 to 6 hours worth of play at a guess. Again, I'm saying it as someone who isn't an achievement hunter. I'm just thinking perhaps if you got to do it twice to get the achievements, you'd be looking probably around between 5 to 6 hours. I imagine your second play will be slightly easier because you know exactly what to do, where to go. The way you see the levels through the eyes, you go through your house as a nice little introductory level where you really get to grips with the controls. And then you play through different areas. You play through your house. You play through an abandoned playground or a scary, freaky kind of playground. Bit of a forest area. The landscapes it gives you, the environments it gives you are good. The game is quite linear. It's not. You pretty much have to go through a certain path, but I do think that is to be expected. Not all games are going to be open world. It's a good take on a horror game. I tend to find horror games that either go for extreme blood and gore, or they go with cheap kind of jump scares, or a mixture. Whereas this is tastefully done. It's almost like someone thought, well, do a horror game for a child, because you're seeing the horror through a child's eyes, and I don't know, it works that way. It's almost poetic. The way they've done the horror is not overdone. It's not overcooked. It's the right amount of horror, and there were times for me it put me a bit at unease, and that's kind of what you want from a game like this. You want to embrace the experience. You want to kind of relive being a 2-year-old again, and this puts you back to being a 2-year-old. I don't remember what it was to be like a 2-year-old, but it changes the way you see things. The horror elements are different. It makes you want to crave seeing Mummy again. It is very tastefully done, and that's probably why I think this is such a hidden gem. Is yes, it is expensive, and yes, the game is short, but it's a different take on a genre which I personally am a fan of. I personally love horror games. I don't mind puzzle games. I'm not the biggest puzzle game fan, but I like the way this has been done. It's not too complicated. I wasn't pulling my hair out, but it did make me stop and think, right, how am I going to achieve my objective? How am I going to get from A to B? And I felt it was quite original. As I said, it's a different take on these genres, but it's done tastefully. And that's kind of what I would like in a game. I don't want everything to be the same. I want to have different, or things done differently, I should say. And this is exactly that. So that is why we've covered off Among the Sleep on Hidden Gem. Whether I've woken you from among your sleep or whether I'm putting you to sleep, I'll leave you to rest now. And yes, that was my one per episode there, putting it in there. And for anyone who may be wondering, what is this one per episode Dark always does in these hidden gems? I always put the title of the game I'm talking about within the video. Go back and watch the other ones and you'll see what I mean. Anyway, this has been another episode of Hidden Gems on the Boom Duck YouTube channel. Okay, bye-bye.